Hey guys, welcome back to Coach's Corner. We've got a quick one happening today, and we have a few guests today. So with me today, actually, you guys introduce yourselves.
As
Hi,
always, Captain Ron is here.
Graz.
Alfador
That's me.
slash Kevin.
I'm war-blooded.
Okay, and I'm not going to be calling any of you guys those names, by the way.
That's
You
fine.
you all be called by your normal names because I can't go back and forth. So
That's fair.
anyway, we had a surprise end to the week tonight, so it's time to do one of these recaps. So we're going to quickly jump right into the recap. We don't have a lot of time tonight, so we're going to go over the scores quickly, and then we will do some predictions and a quick look at the Hall of Fame. Just because there's one noticeable change in the Hall of Fame standings today. So I will find out. So anyway, we've got the game that just ended, and hopefully any Hall of Fame changes will take place by the time we get there. James just finished beating up on the AI and won
Which
4-0.
I have to admit felt very good after my last two games.
Well, my question is, what were the predictions for this game? I bet everyone bet on James, but did we give
Well, it
scores?
was a surprise upset in that Warpstone Warriors actually ended up winning the game 4-0.
did we
We all
did,
predicted that.
did we ever
Yes.
did any of us predict a score though?
No one predicted a score. We
Okay.
just looked at it and said
Yeah.
Warpstone
Okay. And then
Warriors.
we just moved on. And that's what we'll do now. We had the Metal Gods beat Kazad Doom Patrol 2-1 in a pretty tight game. I was there for a bunch of it. You guys were there for it too.
Yep.
There was
I missed
definitely
that
some
one.
heavy hitting,
There was some heavy hitting.
but the Metal Gods they did the brutalizing. I mean, when you take out the Gimli Goose in the first turn,
Yeah, the Gimli Goose was running rampant in his game before that and was
Those
immediately
little
shut down.
claws, right?
yes,
Well,
Yep, that'll do
it
it.
has been discussed many times. Miles fields a very solid line of black orcs that are really hard to deal with.
Yes, a new and in fact a new term has been coined, I believe.
Yes, yes. Came up last time we did this.
Yeah. Um, what were our predictions on this one?
Our predictions were all Metal Gods, but we all predicted it would be a close game.
All right. Well, I guess we all win.
So we were all right.
Okay. How about Legend of Quango beating the Lurg 1-0? Kevin, I don't know if there's anything you can add.
I generally keep games low scoring, which I did. My late game passing shenanigans did not pull off like they did against you for the title.
That's right.
Half of us were guessing that one was going to be a draw, but Ron and I both assumed or guessed that Quango would win, and
All
I
right.
actually guessed the score correctly, 1-0.
If I could just add in, as an observer of that game, that was probably one of the funnest games of Blood Bowl I've ever watched played.
Interesting. Not something you hear often about Lurg.
About a bunch of two agility guys trying to pick up a ball.
Yeah.
That's exactly why it was fun.
Well, I've said Peter and I played just a spin game a few weeks ago that was Kemri versus Kemri.
Worst game of Blood Bowl ever played.
It was awesome. You'd have loved it, James. All right, then we get the Honey Boys being the Delivery Boys 2-0. I think there was some damage done to the poor Boys.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise in that one because not a lot of us expected that to be, go exact that way. Well, a
Well,
lot of us thought Honey Boys would win, but not everyone here thought that it would be such a win.
well, it's hard to shut out a Skaven team, and
Yeah.
Ron did that.
well, when the when the injury rolls all go in your favor, it
Yes, let's bring up the fun statistic from that game. There were 12 injury rolls, and all 12 were successes. Not a single injury roll failed.
Right. That's right. It was 12 for 12. That's right. I remember. I remember that.
Lots of rats on the sidelines.
All right. So
the morgue.
and what? Oh, did we do predictions on that one?
Yeah, everyone guessed Honey Boys with me. I thought it would be a high-scoring draw, 2-2.
Okay. Then the other game that we just played. It was the Goats who stare at men beating My Enchanted Florists 2-1 in what turned out to be more of a squeaker than I imagine it would have been. because he had to make a turn 16 passing touchdown,
Yep.
which is something that goats do not usually do.
Honestly, something he should do more often, considering his 3+ agility.
Yes,
points.
his plus agility guys
Definitely.
over.
He really should put the ball up more often as a tactic.
Well, I
Yes.
think you know what I know he hated doing it because it just made him nervous. But I have a feeling it might open the door for him to try that kind of thing more often.
Nervous or scared?
Oh no,
Well,
he got the touchdown and said that was horrible. I hated that.
So,
So that was that game.
as for the 2-1 score, like you have said about me, I don't count you out of any game, Dale. And I came late, but I'm quite aware of what you can do with Wood Elves. Sly bastard.
Well, I did, man. Yeah, I got a War Dancer broke free and scored a touchdown early in the. If I could have stretched out another turn or two, I might have been able to keep the tie. But I had to score when I scored. Otherwise, there were many goats and Chaos Warriors who were going to converge on my poor War Dancer. Also, that game also as an added little extra for that game. Also, I had I think exactly 900 points in inducements, and my main two things were a halfling chef and I purchased Morgan Thorg for the game, who was injured and taken out of the game in turn 2.
Oh shoot!
So that was my first time ever buying a star player, and that's how it worked out for me.
And Nuffle sent you a clear message.
Exactly. And then we had Dirty Mike winning against N Sabiner's Minions 2-1, another close one.
We all said Dirty Mike for this game, but Kevin said Dirty Mike, but it's close.
Yeah.
Right.
Mark has gotten very, very good at positional Blood Bowl. I expected you to beat him, but he made a game out of it.
Yep.
He sure did.
Yep. And that's the week.
And for the Enchanted Florist versus Goats game, let's just get this out of the way. All of us said Goats except Ron, who said Enchanted Florists, and noted that the Goats were cowards.
Yes, that's right.
You missed the addendum.
And the addendum
Then he changed.
After that was Goats will win because they get brave when they're hitting elves.
That's right. And that was actually that wasn't a change. That was his. That was what I accidentally read the wrong chat message because he amended it a minute later. So that was his original call. It's not a change of mind later on after the fact. So yeah, he called that one right. And what do we call for you and Sabiner?
That was we unanimously called Dirty Mike to win.
All right. So the round, I'm going to confirm it now. Right here on YouTube Live, and it takes us to day 4. And let's take a look at our matchups. First one, Metal Gods versus Leather Pharaohs. I call that one for the Metal Gods.
Yeah.
I think they might squeak it out.
Okay.
I
guess 2-0.
I think
I realize you've fenced already, but there's something I want to point out from last week's games that you guys missed that will change the stats.
Okay.
There was, for the first time ever, and part of the reason why I enjoyed watching that game so much, the very first interception I saw in Blood Bowl ever.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, we don't get too many of those.
Yeah,
What do you mean in my game? Yeah.
I've been playing for over a year now. That's the first time I've ever seen one live.
I believe, last half we had one, and it was the AI team that had one interception.
And of all things, it was a low agility source that picked the ball. It was amazing.
Well, that's the thing. Agility does not matter on the interception rolls. The only thing that affects that is if you have the very long legs. So anyway, yeah, it's a straight 6 roll.
That out for posterity. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
I can't remember the last one I've seen in our leagues, but I've had. I remember my first one that I had against me was playing a Wood Elf team against my first time playing Kislev, and their very long legs screwed me over big time on that one. So, Metal Gods wins. I think we're all in agreement on there.
We all agree, yeah.
And now, here's an interesting one, though. Second one is Legend of Quango hosting the Warpstoned Warriors.
Very interesting.
That should be a fun game.
I like the momentum.
Well,
I'm going to be the first to go. I like the momentum going to James coming off his big win.
I have to give the edge to the Warriors as well.
To be bluntly honest, I'm going to give it to me as well, but I think it's going to probably be a closer game.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to it's going to be a close game.
I'm
I
gonna
can picture
go
this
with.
one going like 3-2 as well. Like I think some scores
That's
are gonna happen.
exactly what I had in mind. That honestly was probably like a 3-2 game.
Man, I feel like I was about to say I'm gonna go 3-2 Warpstone, and now I feel like I'm a copycat.
Well, just to be the odd one out, I guess I'll have to say 2-2 draw.
All right. Okay, if you want to. Then we've got the Honey Boys hosting the Kazad Doom Patrol. I'm gonna. You know what? I have to say the Honey Boys have been on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming in with a lot of momentum, but the Doom Patrol has been playing some very strong Blood Bowl lately.
Yeah. Honestly, anytime it's Dane, it's like, what are Dane's dice gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, if Dane's dice go well, you know what? I'm gonna pull an advanced Peter. I'm gonna call this a draw. I think this one ends in a draw. I think Dane's dice won't screw him real hard, but Ron is a shifty bugger as well. He finds
He's
ways to put
shifty.
points in the end zone.
And cruel.
I'm actually going to call this one 2-1 for the Honey Boys.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's where I was coming out.
I of course am going to pick the Honey Boys to win.
I think the Doom Patrol they are due, but
I'm
They're also
expecting
going
to
to be
see a lot of
down the
injuries. That
well, you know what? If I'm going to make up ground on Ron, I can't make the same prediction, so I will go with the Doom Patrol. I'll give this. I'm gonna call it for Dane.
I'm also going to call it for the Doom Patrol.
All right, so
I have to prove all you guys wrong then.
yeah,
Just
and
prove me
you
right and end it in a
you
draw.
very
I think
well
you can
might.
do it.
And then we have the Goats Who Stare at Men hosting the Lurg, the dreaded Lurg.
Here's the thing, Ron, about that game. You got to remember, he can get that 6th strength Minotaur on the field next to his actual Minotaur.
No, he won't
It's
have
just-
his actual Minotaur. The Minotaur has broken ribs.
Well, then he can get
Hold it. The
That's
Doom
the
Patrol
player
is without a.
next to a. He can get the star player Minotaur next to a Merc Minotaur.
All right, I'm.
Just do
and
it
then-
right and release his actual Minotaur. It's gonna be a running theme you'll hear now.
Yeah, start the momentum.
Okay,
to
well,
maybe,
I didn't know the Doom Patrol
maybe
had a
what he was
broken
saying.
ribbed Minotaur, so I'm gonna put an asterisk if next to my
It
prediction.
will only make them better by not having to put that thing in the field. So,
The 6th strength one, I think, doesn't even have wild animal.
well, if they can
Just
hire that
horrible.
one, sure. But,
Yeah, he's good.
All right, so the Goats and the Lurg. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm calling this one for the
no,
Goats.
I will repeat my statement from last week. I don't
Goats.
win a game this half other than maybe against the computer. Any game I end 1-0 for my opponent is a victory for me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and do that again.
All right. So anyone want to step out and make a long shot prediction there?
No, I have to take the Goats.
Yeah.
Against my better judgment.
And we have right, Dirty Mike and the gang playing the Delivery Boys.
Looking forward to watching that one.
Yeah, that should be good.
Oh,
And I'm gonna say right now, Dirty Mike's on a roll. Delivery
Yeah,
Boys have had some
I
bad
expect-
fortune lately, so I'm gonna call this one for Dirty Mike.
I expect to run up the score and destroy many rats. Although, I do feel bad about what he just went through last week.
Yeah, but not bad enough to stop.
Not bad enough to stop, but
Ah,
bad
I'm
enough to bring it up here.
Normally, I'd be all for my fellow Skaven team, but I saw his roster after the game last week, so yeah, it's going to be a tough game for the Boys.
Yeah. All right, and that brings us to the final matchup. Ensab and Nur's Minions is hosting me, the Enchanted Florists. I don't know this one. Anyone have some thoughts?
As I
I'm
said,
gonna
Mark's
go
gotten
with
very good
the,
at the positional
Forest.
game, but sorry, go ahead, Ron.
I'm gonna go with the Florists.
I'm
Mark's
not-
had some tough luck, and War Dancer Elvish Bull I think is going to carry the day for the Florists.
Well, and I'll say that Mark's gotten very good at the positional game, but he's mostly played bashy teams, and adjusting your headspace to playing like Wood Elves and High Elves and Skaven, like they're all slightly different from each other too, but it's a different approach to the game than playing.
Yeah, I will point out something I was not able to buy my second catcher yet, so I still only have one catcher, and I will have two journeyman linemen on the field for this game because I'm
Are both your word answers in the game?
both War Dancers and my tree are in the game.
Your opponent will have a journeyman zombie, and I did kill his flesh golem,
Yes, he's leveled up, Flesh Golem, I believe.
so he's down that as well.
I mean, he's still got two. It's two werewolves versus two wood elves in supporting cast, and I'm going to give the edge to you, Dale. But not again. I think it's going to be a one touchdown difference. Though.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm hoping 2-1 for me on that one.
Yeah,
That's.
yeah, I could see that.
But anything happen if I roll like I rolled today, and if he rolls against me like Nicholas rolled against me today, the things could turn around. But
I'm looking at this one. I'm thinking it's hard, but I gotta go with Florists. Just because he's down that flesh golem and that strength player is so important in the matchup, and he's not going to have the team value difference to induce one.
right.
Yeah.
And
he has enough money back to buy one back.
anyone else need to make a call? Oh, James, have you given one yet?
I haven't, but I too am going to give it to the Florist simply because I know how hard it is to play an agility team when you're not used to it, kind of thing. If this is his first time making that leap, it'll definitely be a lesson for him.
So, for the first time ever, the Enchanted Florists go in as a favorite. Who would have known? All right, so that means we can go to our Hall of Fame. And there it is.
You're both down players, but he's down some more important players than you are.
Okay, look, there's some experienced players. Next, okay. Most violent players. We have a tie, a two-way tie for first between Redisaurus and Dirty Mike.
Go, Mike.
With a solid hold on third from the Gimli Goose.
The legend himself.
So that was one. Dirty Mike was not in a first place tie last time, was he?
No, he was not.
All right. Best receivers. Okay, we got a two-way tie between Richie Blackmore and Terrence Cramps, Kevin. He's still holding in there.
It mystifies everyone. It's unnatural.
It is. And then a bunch of two-scorer guys from there's two of James guys, one from Dirty Mike, and Electric Dane from the Honey Boys. All right, and serial kills. Oh, look at that. Dirty Mike has a second one and is now.
I want to point out.
Yeah.
I would have two, but Rob APO'd out of one. Terrence killed another guy and he APO'd out.
If we're counting APO deaths, then Mike has 3.
I got it. Just I'm saying. I got one in there. And unfortunately, Rob's guy got better.
Well, I
killed a level Taurus.
Well, I want to point out there's a 5-way tie for second place, one of which is Alice from the Goats who killed Blueberry tonight.
Yes.
On my team. Blueberry's gone.
With
his 6 armor. I did not re-roll it.
I think we call that nature taking its course.
Yeah. It's natural. All right, now on to interceptions. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Mothra got one.
And wait, and the sad part of that story, now that I look at this, is Mothra's the one I killed who got back up in the game and then intercepted the ball.
Oh, okay, so.
Ooh, that's a. You can make a movie out of that story.
Yeah.
Destiny has her hands all the way up in those puppets.
Like I said, it was a great game to watch.
All right, who's our brutes? Our brutes are okay. Viv Campbell is first.
Because we ask this every week. Those are knockouts.
Right. So Vivian Campbell leading the way with a close second tie between White Widow and Squeeze Your Head. There we go.
Great name.
It's a good name. Best throwers?
I'm gonna just note that at number 5, somehow, I don't understand how this is possible, but one of my goblins, Dr. Everywhere, is number 5 for biggest brutes. Goblin.
So we have RJD here and Schurstein over there, and then just it's not on the board here, but if you look, we have a third place tie. We have much tail cipher, but Jiminy Ricketts is in a third place tie in that category.
What the hell is Nurgle doing with 2 guys in the top 5 attacking? That's what everyone wants to know.
Exactly. All right, and our best rushers, no big changes here.
No.
And
Cindy made a lot of ground up though.
Cindy made some
Cindy
ground
is
up.
catching up to Pete Fastlegs, because as I recall last week, Pete Fastlegs had a strong hold on this category.
Yeah, it felt like a. Yeah,
Well, Cindy
triangle.
Klopper is the preferred ball carrier for the goats with those sure hands and the agility.
The only ball carrier. He's still giving Cindy the ball every game, despite the fact that I think there are a couple other goats who could benefit from it.
Hey, don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Yeah, exactly. Just let the magic happen.
And then let's see our passers. Win again. RJD holding out for first. Three-way tie for second between Much, Naughty Nathan, and Spooky Son of Scary Peter. You got a boy out there.
That's right. I made a pass last game, and he's out of the infinite third.
All right, our best scorers. Okay, once again, Hits escape button is in sole possession of first with 4. And then these two, Pete Fastlegs and Rishi Blackmore, are tied with 3. So no extras to worry about there. A lot of guys tied with 2 after that. And then most matches, who cares? Best punching bags, always the fun category here.
Oh, poor Jiminy.
Poor Jimmy and poor Trainwreck. Ah, they're all tied. Look at it, it's a 7-way tie for first. Jiminy, Trainwreck. Burl Hives is in there after Rosy Cheeks. Artichoke Alfred is there. Super Lemon Haze is there. And some guy from the Leather Pharaohs. Only one Leather Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Guys, we are not beating up on this AI team enough.
And my goblins go another week without making their way onto this list.
Very good. And that does it. So I think we've succeeded here, guys.
Record time.
Record time.
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't go off on too many tangents and managed to pull this in under budget. So
We'll save that.
So who did win the predictions for last week's games?
It was a 4-way tie at 5 out of 6 correct.
Could you recount those properly?
Yeah.
were you counting Ron's proper prediction or the mistaken prediction that I gave?
Which one did you give?
Well, I remember he'd called me to win as a joke, and then I had read that.
Oh, I counted him as saying you to win because it's funnier that way.
Yeah, so he did not count me to win. He never expected me to win. So Ron has the most predictions
So
correct.
Ron actually got all 6 correct, and the rest of us got 1 game wrong.
All right, still pretty good all around.
Yeah.
Pretty good crew for making predictions, I say. So
We've never had anyone below 3 out of 6. So.
I think I'm pretty sure I have been. I've had some horrible weeks in guessing.
No, we've all gotten at least 3 every week.
All right. Well, that'll do it then. We'll get this up tonight. It should be up for tomorrow. I know that there's some games planned already for tomorrow, so that's awesome.
Yeah, all going well. I'll be playing the goats tomorrow.
Yeah, and other than that, everyone have a great week. Thanks for so for me, Zim, and for everyone else, say your names.
Your names.
Okay, there you go.
Four-blooded.
I do.
Ron.
Peter would have to go there. Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin, and Ron, and James, and Peter. Thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you guys out on the pitch.
If I didn't do it, Kevin was going to.
May
all know it.
Nuffle favor you all.
Thank you, and you
Bye.
all too. Good night, everyone.
Night, everybody.